G'day, you bloody legends. How you going? Hang on, wrong mic. How are we? Just doing a quickie diagnosis stream. A few new amps came in yesterday. So, oh shit, shut up me. Why is it playing back at me? Anyway, yeah, so I've got a Valvetone little gym here, and it's called a little gym apparently because it's a martial-esque thing. So Valvetone, I don't know much about the bloke, but I know it's a pretty small operation, and he's in Sydney, so not far from here. These are just those Hammond rip-off boxes. I don't think it's an actual Hammond. Could be. Yes, it is. Well, sorry, Valvetone. You can see there it's got the Hammond stamp in it, in the moulding. That's a 1550J. They've cut some square holes to put cage nuts in there, which is a nice touch. And I think he sells these amps just as chassis. You see them on eBay and stuff. I don't know what the eBay amp distribution model pros and cons are, but anyway, so yeah, it's made out of sort of off-the-shelfy components. It's got the ceramic valve sockets there, which I'm not a big fan of because you can jam the socket in the valve in the wrong way in a lot of them. Sonar. So it's got an output transformer over here, OT20 pp. My paste soldering station's rattling. So yeah, made in China musical power supplies. I don't know, never heard of them. Got 12 AX7s, little weird Bakelite looking sockets. They're riveted in place, which again I'm not a fan of if you've got to replace it, but hey, keeps the cost down, nice and quick to assemble. It looks like a trophy rider made the front panel because they're engraved, and it's that plastic stuff with the faux brushed metal look on the front, and it's engraved through that. It looks like laser etched through that. It's got your usual little MXR wannabe knobs. But Sonar, SOANAR, is a distributor for Jaycar. Now Jaycar is one of our last remaining sort of electronics retail stores. When I say electronics, I'm not talking like iPhones and shit. I'm talking like RS, well, like Tandy, like Radio Shack used to be. You can actually walk in there and buy a handful of resistors. Might cost you $80, but for really shit quality with unknown data sheets and stuff, you're not allowed to know what parts you're actually purchasing. Are we buffering it all, or is it looking okay? I just saw that it looked like there was some drop frames there for a second, but it's showing 0. Let us know if there's any issues with the video or the audio, please, as usual. You're all audio guys, you can tell me. I've got a thick skin. So Sonar are the distribution company which imports all the components and parts and gewgaws and gadgets, and then they distribute them to Jaycar. So I believe Jaycar and Sonar are owned by the same company. I don't know exactly all of this, but every part that you see coming from Jaycar, like Jaycar even import their own sort of Hammond rip-off boxes, and they're all labelled Sonar. So they've got some offshore company that's making these things, and they are distributing them in this country via the Jaycar stores. So when you see Sonar on something, and the other thing, their brand of caps. Now I'm a redhead, and Ollie, if you're there, you've got very pale skin too, so we shiver a bit when we see the brand Suntan. So Suntan is the really, really shitty caps that Sonar import and sell at Jaycar. If you see suntan capacitors in an amplifier, it's a little bit of a red flag. But that's primarily for repair. I'm not sure why this guy finds Jaycar a good place to buy capacitors from when you could get them en masse anywhere else. But anyway, they're pretty good amps, and they're built sort of tag construction. People will call that point to point, but it's not really. You want to see point to point, that's a different ball game. But yeah, essentially that's your power transformer. You can see there's only one set of secondaries on that, and then that's nice, same color code. And then that's your filament transformer. Now that's one of those multi-tap transformers, the sort of universal ones, and 6, 9, 12 and 15 volts. So he's just using the 12 volt tap. So I guess we've got series heaters going on. Not series, you know what I mean. 12 volt mode, anyway, whatever, shut up. I can't think of the word, it's early. What is it, 7 AM? So it's got basically a run of tag strips. You've got what looks like the bias supply, because you've got a reverse biased diode down there. You got radials throughout, which is good for maintenance point of view. But they are glued to the cabinet, to the chassis, which makes them a little bit more difficult to remove, but not too much. The soldering's all pretty good. It's got half wraps, so not, you know, wrap the lead 50 times around the tag, make it a pain in the ass to change things. So that's good. There are quite a few just tack solder joints. Let's zoom in and show you that gear. We'll go too far, the camera will blur, we'll go back as usual, and then go back in. Alright, and find your limit and work right up to it. So, right here you've got these leads here, and you've got some twisted leads from the diodes there. They're not twisted around, they're just tack soldered. They're holding on at the moment, but it's not something I do. Yeah, I can't really see any super sketchy work. It's all pretty well done, to be honest. He's used alpha pots. I bet these are from Jaycar too. This guy could probably make profitable amps if you didn't buy shit from Jaycar. Maybe I should ring him and say, hey, have you heard of DigiKey? Have you heard of Mouser? Have you heard of Element 14? Because he's building good stuff. But I'd like to see him build it with higher quality components for a cheaper cost, which is possible. Anyway, let's have a look to see what you champions are saying. Looks good, sounds good. Thanks, mate. Yep. We had a Maplin in the UK, totally gone now, so we've got nothing apart from the big blokes like RS and Farnell. Yeah. It kind of sucks because it is cool, like buying boxes, for example, enclosures. Sometimes you want to touch and feel them, you know, not to be creepy or nothing. But yeah, I feel it. Oh, the surface is so, you know, nothing like that. But you want to see how a thing goes together, and you don't necessarily get that from the data sheets. So I want to build a load box, essentially a 1 in 10 attenuator around a load box. So that's something I wanted to build in this box because I wanted a heat sink enclosure. Now this was again a Hammond. Sidetrack. But I ordered it, and the data sheet was a bit vague. So essentially, they go in like that, and they'll probably rattle. So when we install it, we might have to sort of push them inwards as far as we can before screwing them, so they're sort of pre-tensioned. Got a bit of a preload on them. And then this part comes out, and then that's your section. But it wasn't real clear on the data sheet, so now I've got to think, how am I going to mount power resistors in that to transfer most of the heat but not mangle these fins from the inside out? Probably the drill press on a stop, and then use rivets. Unfortunately, I don't like using rivets, but if we try and drill and tap, those fins are going to fuck up the drill bits, I dare say, unless we get it bang on, which is possible. So if I had a proper data sheet, or if I could actually walk into the store and pick one of these up and look at it in my hands, I'd probably get some other ideas. And see, when you get stuff in your hands and you're actually looking at it, and your mind gets going, you go, oh yeah, I could put that there, I could drill a hole there, and I could move this around, and oh yeah, I could mount something on there. Your brain gets working. When you're looking at a data sheet, your brain's just sitting there thinking about what you're going to have for lunch, because it's not fun. So when I go to Japan next year, which I'm hoping to take you champions along, we're going to go to Akihabara. I don't know how to say it. Akihabara. And that is touch and feel central. In more ways than one. That place is like electric town. I think it's gone down a little bit since it was, but there is an excellent video tour of that place by a channel called Dangerous Prototypes. And I'll just give you a link now, because it is fantastic video, but he hasn't made anything for like 11 years, and it sucks because his videos were awesome. I think he's just one of those introvert people that just copped a bit of a hit from YouTube trolls and just said fuck this and left. What is it? Dangerous Prototypes. It's one of those zombie channels that just sits there getting heaps of views, and he hasn't produced anything, and he's got fuck all subs. But yeah, I hope he's doing well, because it's a fantastic channel, and he hopefully he's out there doing so much work that he's too busy to fuck around with YouTube. Unlike us, eh, Lyle? 75 YBA's name is Bren. I guess that's short for Brendan. One of the best things about this whole thing is meeting interesting people all over the world. Yeah. All us weirdos. G'day, Travis. Got my hobby start in Maplin when I was 8 or 9. Yeah, man. I used to hang out in Tandy until the one in, oh Jesus, the one in Penrith, my local one, it's long closed now. I think it's like a hairdresser's or something now. It was run by this guy that had one arm. Now, nothing against amputees, but this guy was an absolute fucking prick. And I was like a, what, 8 to 10-year-old kid, depending what year it was. And used to go there, and like I'd go there with my $10 or whatever and buy some pots and some LEDs, and but I'd wander around and just look at all the parts, and it wasn't like Jaycar Dick Smith where you could pick up the resistors and like run your hand through them and stuff like that. It was, everything was in blister packs. It was like the Archer brand blister packs. Like you'd know about them from Radio Shack in the States. So you couldn't touch and feel anything. Everything was a bit, you know, pre-packaged, and you could just tell it's not where the real nerds went. It's where someone went when their CB radio connector fucked up, and they went there grudgingly. And this guy with one arm kicked me out of the store, even though I bought shit. And I went and told Mum, because I was like 8 years old, 10 years old. And she went back and got right stuck in Oi May. And he said something like, "This is not a child mining centre." And Mum turned around and said, "He probably knows more about the fucking parts than you do." Anyway, I hope Amputee Man's going well. He was a bit of a prick though. Anyway, back to the amp. So there's some spillage or something down there. You can see the brown residue on the inside corner of the case. I used a Pen Elcom rack enclosure for my load. Oh, Pen Elcom, I didn't think of them. I've got an account with them. 300 watts at 2, 4, 8 and 16. That is handy. Show us some photos, mate. You got any links to that? I just got a late 70s YBA one in based on Lyle's video. It seems to be a solid head with a little bit of love. It would be great. Yeah, they're fantastic amps. I wish there was more out here, but being so far from Canada, there isn't. Yeah, I don't know what that... I reckon Oh yeah, evidence. Okay, so it's investigation time. That, to me, looks like shitty capacitor shmoo. You know, that weird fur that comes out of them? That's the electrolyte, the paper in the cap exploding out. So I reckon there's been a cap explosion down here and it's been replaced. Now, I thought this owner said he bought it directly off new, but maybe this was refurbished. And that backs up our theory. Yeah, see? So you've got some Nippon Chemicons which are glued to the chassis, and you've also got a little bead of glue there that used to touch the neighbouring cap, and that's been ripped off. And then you've got your new Jamicons here which aren't secured to anything, and you can see the glue from the previous caps there beyond the extent of these ones. So that's happened there. And there's another cap in the bias supply down there which has got it's got snapped off glue residue under it as well. So I reckon 1, 2, 3 caps have been replaced, and they're Jamicons, which is the odd ones out from the rest. So I reckon those 2 caps have exploded at some point, and they've sort of cleaned it up, but just scraping away, you can get all the furry puby stuff on. So they haven't cleaned it real well, whoever it was. That's just me touching the side of the chassis. So I think we'll clean that up, but the main complaint with this one, he said the valves aren't glowing, so suspect heater supply. Now, this transformer at the back here gets fed directly from that switch, and there is a fuse in the IEC connector. So that's the only thing standing in the line of the filament transformer. So let's check that fuse, because people will often say that valves aren't glowing. You got to decode guitarist talk. They say the valves aren't glowing. Okay, we've got conductivity. If there's no indicator on the amplifier, that could mean it's completely dead, and there is an LED here, so maybe it is a heater supply. But sometimes if there is no indicator on the amplifier, they'll say the valves aren't glowing. That could mean the entire thing's dead and there's no current draw from the wall at all. Yeah. I paid $200 for a YBA1. Oh man, that's pretty good. I'll ping you some tomorrow. 10:50. Oh, okay. Take it easy. Take it easy there, Ollie. Dodgy jammers. What? Mine was a hair over 700. Yeah. Well, that's still good value, considering how much I paid for a Black Star before I knew better. Oh, I've got this customer. She just brought in a Black Star. I said, "What did you buy another Black Star for? Do you listen to a word I say?" And you know, she's cool. She likes them and whatever. But she's trying to get a sponsorship off them because she's in a pretty prominent metal band in Sydney. And so I'm like, "Is that how you get a sponsorship off Black Star? You just buy all their amps and then aren't they supposed to give them to you?" Anyway, so she's just bought a Series 1 metalhead, and the thing is monstrous, but she just brought it around for a service. To be honest, I've cooled a little bit on my Black Star hatred, because not a hell of a lot of full-on show-stopping problems happen with them these days. I think they have smartened up their footwork a bit. Don't get me wrong, I still think they're pretty overpriced for essentially what's a mass-produced pick-and-place board. But there's a lot worse out there. I'm getting soft in my old age. I'm less aggressive, believe it or not. But I still hold out a hatred for Mesa Boogie. Great price. Mine came with a matching matching two 1x15 cabs. So you got 2 1x15 cabs. Wow. One Evo, one Eminence, sold them for $450 total, so it's $650 for the whole thing. Does that mean you just made a profit by buying an amp? And you've still got the amp? That's alright. Cool. yeah, I don't know that there's like any trainer, how do you say it, trainer out here. It sucks because they're really cool amps. Am I clipping at all? I'm just looking at the Mo2 says I'm clipping, but OBS doesn't. So anyway, let's fire this thing up. As I say, that's becoming my catchphrase. Let's fire this thing up. Let's forget about the Variac because that'll make fun of me, and I'm going to see him on the weekend. So, give him any ammo to call me Variac boy. So we'll go balls to the wall. We'll check the fuse. It's good. Turn the switch off. I've taken the output valves out, but I'll put them back in. Occasionally right on the edge of clipping. Well, that's how we like it around here, isn't it, Lyle? Oh, so I got story time. I got, well, not commissioned yet, but an inquiry from a good customer of mine. He wants me to build an amp. Now we played a couple in the shop to get a vibe of what he wants, because he was a little bit vague about the exact style of the amplifier he's after. This is actually the guy who owns this one. And yeah, it's on the edge of breakup. It's not so good when it's a lapel mic into a Mo2. But part of the reason I've got a few sort of quintessential amp designs here, albeit a little bit tuned up, is to just determine what people are after out of an amp, if they want their amp voiced. But in this case, we're thinking about building one from scratch. Now, he thought he was after a Soldano or Marshall tone, but then I said, well, how much distortion do you play with? And he said, sort of just on the verge of breakup, maybe like a pushed JTM 45 sort of tone. I'm like, right. I go, well, I don't think you need that. And then I plugged him into the 18 watt here, which I built years ago, and I just got here as a like testing amp for people to try their guitar out, and they often play through it and go, holy shit, that's better than my insert production amp here. And he liked it, but it was a bit too, even though it's got the EZ81, at lower volumes, it was a little bit too firm, I guess. Is that someone here? It's someone 6:30. It's just about to go and pick Michelle up from the train station, and then they stayed here for 45 minutes, so she's sitting at the train station wondering where I am, and this person's, yeah. Head first is great. Yes, it is. Did you see he just sold a Alta 100 head to Slipknot? I'm like, whoa, Jesus. He didn't give it to him either, he sold it. That's good. So anyway, edge of breakup, Taylor Swift tone. I like that. That's funny. Yeah, back to the story. He found the Marshall was a little bit too firm. The Soldana was way too much gain. And he said he liked a little bit of sponginess, a little bit of give to the amp. And I thought, oh, hang on. I wasn't thinking this, but let's put you through my 5E3 and have a listen to that. So we plugged him into that, cranked it up, and he was like, that's it, that's the tone. And I said, well, have I got an idea for you? But he also wants, he's got a piezo pickup in one of his guitars, and he wants that as well, like that crystal clear, clean tone. And he also wants the not sludgy, but the spongy lead tone. So I said, look, what time frame have you got? Have we got time to make a custom chassis? Because I would like to make an amplifier that has negative feedback on the clean channel and solid state rectification on the clean channel. And when you switch to the lead channel, it's basically linked channels, linked inputs on my 5A3. So that's the basic idea. We'll cut the negative feedback for the lead channel, well, not lead channel, but the drive channel, I guess, and go back to either a sag resistor or an actual rectifier valve. I think sag resistor. And then when you click back to the clean channel, we'll bypass that and bring in the negative feedback. So I'm going to experiment with that. That's going to be the sort of experimentation base. So we're going to start there, see how he likes it, and then tune from there. But it might be a cool project to do videos of. Lyle, found Brad through you. Thank you. Any other good channels you would recommend? Uncle Duck is the only other one I know. Uncle Doug's alright. Yeah, Head First is great. Jason's like Rain Man of amp tuning. Dr. Gear, of course, for that one video a year that he releases. You don't know who Slipknot is? Well, you used a capital letter, so you must know a little bit. Don't play dumb, Lyle. You know who Slipknot is. My favourite high gain amp is VHT Pitbull. Yeah, I don't see much VHT stuff here. The only ones I've seen is the new ones, like the Classic 18, which was a pile of shit, and the Classic 6, which was also a pile of shit. Tone Talk's good. I should watch Tone Talk more, but I'm pushing shit uphill making my own videos, let alone watching others. Alright, we're live. So, speaker. It's the 16 ohm. I think this has only got, yeah, they've got 16 ohm tap disconnected. So we've got 8 or 4. 8's close enough. I just want something to, no, it helps if I plug the valves back in. Yeah, old VHT is different from the new crap. It's a completely different sort of company now. It's one of those companies that's only themselves in name, I believe. Fryette, yeah. I know they exist, but I couldn't pick them out. Couldn't pick them out of dozens of other shitty metal, new metal. They're not new metal, mate. You couldn't pick them out of a lineup because they wear masks. Oh. Have the most drummers in band history, yeah. I used to listen to Slipknot a lot when I was an angry young thing. I've got lots of Jim Root fans. They buy his guitars and stuff. I reckon I see probably at least half a dozen Jim Root products a year. I wonder how the new Sound City amps are. What? They started making, or someone's revived the brand, have they? Let's not say how they started making amps again, because it's probably just another zombie brand. Someone's bought the name. Not a fan with metal without melody. No, well, they've got melody. They've often got like a pretty heavy hook to the song, chorus. It's not like death metal or stuff like that. It is screamy, but it's more growly, down-tuned. I don't know, I try to get into all styles of guitar-based music because I want to know what the customers are talking about instead of just nodding and smiling like a dick. So yeah, you probably know Stone Sour more than Slipknot. That's the singer's other band. He was amazed that I don't know Linkin Park. Well, yeah, I mean, it's because they suck, Lyle. I can't stand Linkin Park. A whingy fucking shit. And like, I know he's passed away, but it doesn't mean that I like the band now. It's just the lyrics is what I couldn't get over. They're so cliche. Just like generic, I'm unpleased about this situation lyrics. Can't you see how much I care about things, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Cynical self coming out again. Let's in the hope that we've got some signal. No, we won't even bother with that. I'll just check. Power on. Stand by. 23 watts, dropping down to 20. See, that to me, yeah, we've got heaters on the preamps. Possibly no heaters on the output. Right. Why is that? Surely we haven't dropped a, well, those heaters would be series, because, preamps are running on 12 volt heaters, and the outputs are AD30s, so 6 volt heaters. They'll be running them in series. So there's something wrong with the series heater chain on the output valves. Possibly something as simple as a dirty pin, although I did remove them and reinstall them, so it's unlikely. It could be an open heater. That one open heater you get every 3 years. So let's test that. We can power that off. Now, because it wasn't conducting because the heaters weren't on, we might have some residual voltage now. This is one of those situations where you do want to double check that. Yeah, it's sitting at 150. It's slowly dropping, but not that fast. Yeah, I don't want to, I was going to trace out this thing, but it's a bit of work for essentially what's a functioning amplifier other than the output stage. We'll just give that a minute to drain off. I'm going to pull these valves out in situ. We'll just check between pin 2 and 7, see if we've got any continuity at all. The heater should measure like an ohm or two. And we've got 12 meg. Dropping, changing, fluctuating. So that valve there, when we measure across pin 2 and 7, we've got 9 meg. I don't think 12 volts across or 6 volts across 9 meg is going to do a hell of a lot. So new pair of output valves. That is a rare failure. People think of valves like they're light bulbs, and that happens all the time, but I think this is like the 3rd open heater I've ever had in like 10 years. And that one, the other valve, which is probably perfectly okay, is measuring, oh, we've got the right pin. Okay, this is weird. That one's fully open. How have we ended up with 2 open heaters? What? Okay, I'm very suspicious now. Like I was just saying, this is a rare failure, and for it to happen to 2 valves in the same amp run in series, like one would blow and then the other one would have open circuit, so it wouldn't blow. So what the hell? So, mystery. Let's put some newies in there. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's offering way too much voltage to them. And in that case, you'd expect one to go and then the other one to just be open circuit then. So, yeah, this is suspicious. Put some of my last JJs in there. G'day Victor, how you going big fella? HT gone down to this, hang on, let me read that again. HT gone down the series heaters to ground, possibly, but there's literally nothing anywhere near the area and it's got its own transformer and everything, so let's see what's on. Since the heaters aren't conducting anyway, we'll leave the output valves out. We'll just see what heater voltage we've got on the preamp valves. Oh, shaky, I need breakfast. We've got 12.95, so about 13 volts. That would sag down when you got the output valves a bit, so that'll probably land pretty close to what we want. Yeah, that's really weird. Let's check relative to ground what the DC voltage, well, relative to ground what it is. Now you've got heater balance resistors, so you'd imagine if there was a HT to heater short that they would have burned open, but they haven't. We've only got 100 millivolts AC to ground. And 0 DC to ground. So you'd imagine if the heater resistors were okay, that you would have a 6.5 to ground. So why have we got 100 millivolts over there? Ah, the plot thickens. So maybe we do have a shitty solder joint somewhere. 83 millivolts. 6.5. Alright, what's going on here? Oh, that's just the series. Yeah, sorry, I'm an idiot. Never mind. So I think we're back onto the EL34s being open circuit. Check the voltages at the sockets. I just did. Morning, Dad. Hello, lads. How are we going today? Going all right? Should I have my 1996 JCM 900 recapped? It's working and sounding good, but I'd say it's time. Ricky Compton. I'd say if it's mission critical and you're relying on it for gigs that pay, yes. If it's not and it's a bedroom amp or you just play for fun, just worry about it when there's a problem. They have HT fuses, so don't stress about it too much. If one goes hard short, you'll blow an HT fuse and you should be right. What amp you got there? It looks great construction. This is a Valvetone little gym made in Sydney. If a client says I want this sound, I'll listen to anything, but that usually leads to a discussion of what an amp sounds like in a room versus mixed / mastered. Yes, it's good to get them in a room because some of the amps I've got here with the speaker choices, they sound like mixed amps. That's the big difference with WGS speakers. They almost sound like they're on an album when you're just standing in the room with an amp. This room's pretty good too because we've got carpet and it's full of shit, so there's a lot of diffusion. But yeah, people listen to the WGS speakers and they go, wow, it sounds like it's on an album. Or closer anyway than using some Jensen shitbox in a Fender reissue. Output heater winding looks independent of preamps. No, so it comes up here, that's that yellow wire, that continues down to the phase inverter. That couples down to the first two down there, which are all in parallel. Check the voltage of the sockets, yeah, it just did, it's got voltage. Sonic audio, any update on the Excalibur? Oh, that question. I have a pair of Bogan stamped, Bogan, get your Bogan on. Stamped Sylvania 6L6s in my Bogan 50 watt. They might date back to the early 60s. The amp went down last year, but it could be anything. I'm amazed they lasted this long. Yeah, well, if the amp's not abusing them, they will last quite a long time, and if the amp's not getting moved, they will last quite a long time too. Too many irons in the fire right now. Yeah, I know how you feel, Lyle. Ah, g'day, where's he going, champ? HC arc inside an output tube could have been. But then you'd imagine that the heater balance resistors, which are, where were they? They are over there. Those two resistors there. You'd imagine they would have gone open circuit. Now, these carbon films, when they, as you'd know from my resistor destruction video, when they go open circuit, they do it pretty violently. We've got 250, 56 ohm resistors for a combination of 34 in total measured. So nothing really there. But then what's he done here? Hang on. So he's referenced that to another voltage. pulled from... Oh, okay, so he's referenced that to the cathode over here. So yeah, he's elevated the heaters as well. Smart man. So it could have been a shorted valve has thrown HT into the cathode, and then that has gone back through the heater elevation circuit into the heaters and blown the heaters, but I don't know. It's a bit of a long bow to draw. Let's just put some new ones in there and see what happens. At the end of the day, the valves are open circuit, and there doesn't appear to be a current fault mode that would cause the new ones to go open circuit. Hi Lyle, sorry to hear about your pollen-induced coma. I'm suffering a bit from the old allergies myself right now. Yeah, I used to get it real bad at school. We had in spring, we have a lot of wind around July, August. It's very windy here, and I came out to get in the van one day. And you could see the pollen on the window. The whole window was like yellow. I'm like, well, this can't be good. Pollen doesn't seem to affect me anymore. It's more animal dander. You get ragweed allergies every fall. What the hell is ragweed? Take a nasal steroid for it. So you got nostrils of steel now. Your dad doesn't have a wrench? Who? Who's dad? Should still have their keys. They weren't jammed in incorrectly at some point, right? Well, yeah, they do have their keys, but with these ceramic sockets, that doesn't matter so much because you can... Actually, these ones aren't bad because they've got another little collar. So I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So you can see... Oh, you could if it wasn't a Panasonic. Hey Lyle, did you see the new Sony ZV-E1? I reckon that's your camera, bro. Full frame goodness. You see there's a little ridge in there? My little pointery thing's getting stopped by that little shoulder. So that's good because it reduces the diameter of that hole. But a lot of these ceramic valve sockets don't have that, and you can jam the thing in the wrong way. But this one, it's too tight. So these are actually pretty good quality ceramic sockets. You can tell it's just all the corners are nice and square. There's no chunks missing, and they've got a nice healthy mold that they've made them in. There's a lot of shitty ceramic ones out there, including put on some very expensive amps like Bogner. Had a Bogner Uberschall that a customer put all the valves in the wrong way around because he figured, oh, well, I thought I was lined up because the valves fit in. It's like, no. Luckily he didn't blow anything up. But yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. SRB drums. Usually not bad because it's gradual. When I went from early spring in Paris to hardcore spring in Memphis, the wall of pollen hit me hard. Yeah. Gooden. How you going, Gooden? Lyle, I can feel the colon point. The pollen count starting to ramp up. Even the dogs get goopy eyes. Wow. No visible dust collecting on anything yet. I think that's when it's said and done, it seems to be, eh? Put a test pair in and do some testing before committing to new ones. Come on, Eric. Where's your sense of adventure? Chat moderator wrench. Yeah. Oh, Dad doesn't have a wrench because Dad couldn't give a shit about moderating. I think I asked him that actually. He said, do you want to moderate my channel? He's like, what's that? And I don't know. I don't care. Piss off. Alrighty then. Straight away we'll see the greater current draw on switch on. What do you reckon? Do you reckon I should plug a guitar in and have some confidence that it's going to be fine? No, we'll take some measurements first. Click. 50 watts, 72 watts, 56 watts, 49 watts, 45 watts, 43 watts. We have heaters in the output valves. 39 watts, settling at around 39. So let's check the voltage on the EL34 heaters. We've got 5.9 volts. And we've got, just try not to short anything out in the process, and 6.1 volts. 5.99, so 6 volts, 6.1 volts. So that's not bad. Got a little bit of hum there. Scratchy pot. Looks like a post-phase inverter master volume there. Bit of scratchiness. Give you some more volume. So this must have like split channel, but one input. You got a bright and a dark. So he's probably getting the same idea as me with the link channels built in. Settling at 59 watts now that the valves are conducting. Sounds like we've got a bit of DC on the presence. Probably by design. Give you a couple of pops and clicks while I measure stuff. You've got 5 volts on the wiper of the presence control, 9.8 volts on the clockwise. We've got HT on the master volume. The master volume pot, we've got 230 volts. What? Is he done it pre-coupling cap? Why for? That's a bit sketchy. Any stray voltages on the tone stack, a couple of millivolts. $50, 60 millivolts on the volume there. So I'll check the grid leaks. So yeah, a few weird things there. Let's have a quick listen, although I am kind of in that master volume pot with 280 volts on it. Scotty, thanks mate. I will have a coffee on you. I might go for a walk in a bit before the shop opens. It's a good time for testing my camera on the 5G network. We might walk up a coffee shop again. Would you guys like that, or is that going to be a bit of a wank? Fuck, that master volume is nuts. Yeah, 280 volts. That's almost all these small builders have some major deal breaker, and I think that's the one here. These cage nuts are giving me the shits. just checking for ghost notes and stuff, seeing if there's any weird distortions, but it's sounding pretty good. So it just occurred to me that this cathode resistor, no, it's not a cathode resistor. So it's got 270 ohms. This is me just drawing schematics in my head. I was thinking it was cathode bias, but then we've got a bias supply there, and that is supplying via two 220k resistors directly to the valve sockets, grids, and there is 22k. Where am I? Okay. What? You got wires that go nowhere? What's up with that? Two wires that go nowhere from the cathodes, and then you've got 100 ohm. Sorry, one ohm. So that's the bias sense resistors. The 26 and 39. So we've got a bit of an imbalance there. What's the supply voltage? Minus 24. Minus 24. So the valves is either there could be drift on those cathode resistors. So one's saying 39, one's saying 26. That's a pretty big imbalance. I don't think the valves will be that far out, but let's swap them over and see if it follows the valve or follows the socket. They feel about the same temp. Just what do you call it? Perceptively. No, that one does feel a bit hotter. Ow. Anybody else getting some buffering? Well, is there anyone else getting some buffering? You've been wanting to get out and do some landscape photography, but the pollen count is so bad that 15 minutes outside my eyes are running and sneezing like crazy. Well, it's good to know I'm not the only one, because I used to get a bit of shit for that. Get bullied and stuff in school because I always had red, scratchy eyes and running nose. It's really bad for your self-esteem when you're the only one in a class, when you're all supposed to have your head down and working, you're sniffling and snorting and blowing your nose, everyone's staring at you. It wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy school for that reason. What's going on with the lugs on those pots? Looks like halfway between PCB mount and solder lugs. They are PCB mount, but they've been bent over and then they've had the wire wrapped around them, and it's not bad really per se. A lot of buffering here. Okay, I'm not showing any drop frames. Current bit rate is higher than the recommended bit rate. Sounds like you guys have shit internet. Sorry, not here, none here. Yeah. G'day, Colby. How you going, Brendan? Thanks for the feedback, legends. I never quite know if the problem's at my end or your end. Here, it's looking crystal clear. I'm not just looking at the screen. I'm looking at the actual stream coming back at me. Let's set. Oh, the quality's only saying 360, but that's not the actual live stream. So let's look at the actual live stream. And will this thing discharges a bit? I'll swap those valves over. What? What's going on here? Did I get second-hand valves? I think I've been ripped off here. I think I've been ripped off. So I'll just put these in. I didn't look at the logos, but if it got that hot, I wouldn't be able to touch it now. And look at the logos. So I think I've been ripped off. That's probably why the valves are out a bit. Fucking ripped off by Who gave me them? Would it either been CE Distribution or Vatco? Let's put them aside and get another pair. That's probably the mismatch in the outputs there. Fucking use valves, for fuck's sake. Oh, I'm sick of getting fucked over by my suppliers. They look at you with a smile and take your money, and then they fuck you over on the next one too. CE would have their label on the base. Yeah, it was probably a return pair. And that's the other thing. They weren't wrapped in the paper. They should be wrapped in the paper. What the fuck were they doing in that box? Fuck, I'm sick of this shit. All the sales reps talk to you. Oh, how you going, mate? You want to chuck another order in? Yeah, I will, if you don't fuck me on this one. How about that? For a change of ideas, huh? Oh, it's like that, is it? Yes, it is fucking like that, isn't it? Oh, that pisses me off. It could have been one of 3 suppliers, so I can't really blame anyone because I don't. I'm going to start writing on them the invoice. As they come in, I'll write the invoice number on it, on every box, because I'm sick of being screwed over by everyone. It's not the crappy valves, Ricky, it's the suppliers getting returns and then putting them back on the fucking shelf. Yeah, I'm just going with you, Doctor, for everything. Screw the local suppliers, honestly. Yeah, shop local, but not if you get fucked by them. Like, you can't bemoan people not using local business if the local business's MO is to fuck everyone over. I'm gonna get my money back on that bullshit Hammond reverb driver. Yeah, that's fucked, Lyle. Send you open circuit bloody transformers. And they try and blame it on you. Oh, it was like that when it left. Fucking no. Let's try that again. I'm just going to measure the balance between the 2 sides this time. I don't know, Eric. They just probably want to avoid confrontation and then they just ping someone else with it. Come on, amplifier, warm up. 46 watts, 47. What were we sitting at before? 49. Down at 51, 52, 53, 23, 22. There you go. That's why I was getting weird measurements, because they gave me shit used valves. And someone's amplifier destroyed the valves. Oh God, I'm going to have to dig through the invoices, and I'm getting sick of this. I'm going to stick it to them, but what do? They'll just go, oh no, you just trying to give us... It's just your word against theirs with valves every time. Yeah, I bought 4 JJs from the local shop. They were crap, couldn't get my money back, so I'll order online this time. Yeah, they refuse to give you money back when they give you screwed stuff. First one was closed circuit actually, so I had to replace the dropper too. Oh, hang on, we're talking about another one. Oh, closed circuit, yeah, it was shorted, that's right. So it screwed your dropper, yeah. Probably a big boy like Guitar Center returned them. We don't have Guitar Center here, but who knows. I think it's probably a matter of they've got someone working in the warehouse that got confused, didn't know where they went, just put them back on the shelf with no real knowledge of what they were doing. So we've got 25 and 26 milliamp now per side. And then once again, I am the fall guy. Expected to somehow run a business as a one-man show, retail outlet, service center, and valve donation service. So what were we looking at? We were looking at the ridiculous voltages on the on the master volume. 283 volts on the counterclockwise. 237 on the center tap halfway. And 193 on the clockwise. You're supposed to have the magic testers Refused to take baths because the retainers scratched them. Yeah. I take the retainers off where I can, so they can't go at me for that. That's a lot of DC for a volume pot. Yes, it is. There is not that much isolation in that pot. It is not rated for that voltage. It's working, but I'm going to advise that we change that. Make it post coupling cap. However, to do that, we're going to have to rework some stuff. And it's sort of one of those things where it's designed. Is it going to, hang on, sorry. Is that MV going to ground on the shared lug? No. I'll have to draw it out, Lyle, because it's a bit weird. It's got 6 wires. 6 wires? 5 wires. Going to the plates of the PI. So it's a post phase inverter master volume, but it is pre coupling cap. So it's pulling the plate voltage from the PI to the master volume pot, which is a weird way of doing it, and kind of not much point to that. I'll turn it to 0 and see if it pops a fuse. No, so it is changing the behaviour and the voltage on the plates of the PI though. 195. So where's it getting the extra couple of volts from? Alright, I think I will have to trace this out. Yay! I took out an MV that was master volume, so bias went down there. I've got yeah, Tube Amp Doctor is great. My biggest issue with Tube Amp Doctor is their shipping sometimes isn't very good. Typically I'm a few minutes behind in the stream. If I refresh, I miss some of what Brad's been doing and saying. Also, I like to use the voice to text function for commenting, which pauses the stream. Ooh, it sounds like you need 2 devices there, good. And so what I often do in the shop is I'll have my mobile phone providing the video, which I'm not really watching, but I'll have the stream. This is if someone else is streaming, like Big Clive or someone, or Lyle. I'll have the stream open on the computer here, but not playing, so I'm not using that extra data. So I'm listening on the phone in real time, but then I've got the video paused, but the chat updates in real time on the computer. So that's how I can use the keyboard to type, but then have my Bluetooth earpiece in, usually when I'm facing this direction working on guitars, so I can keep an eye on the shop. Keeps you on the edge a little bit. Keeps you on the edge a little bit when you're trying to run a retail store at the same time as doing a YouTube channel and a repair shop. Sounds like he needs to stop being cheap and pay for good internet. Who? Victor? Well, Victor's in Hawaii, so I don't know what the internet's like there. So what were we doing? It looks like everything's fine. We've got 4 busted valves, 2 of which are mine. I think I'm going to return them. I'm going to look up the invoice because I think I ordered JJ's, it would have been in Feb last year. Now it's just over 12 months. But that kind of shits me with valves. And if you get a tester, testers are kind of useless because they don't run the valves to their maximum potential. It would be run in, that they would be run in an amp. I can't speak. Where are the MV lug ones connected? So the red there is connected to the knee bone. Where are we coming from? So we're coming from an HT node. This is not the most logical amp to follow. Bear with me, Lyle. Let's turn it off for a sec. Alright, so we've got, that's the transformer center tap. Let's get rid of my stupid face for a sec. Alright, let's zoom in a little. Alright, so you've got looks like a voltage doubler there. Let's go into the center tap of those two caps. Positive there. Man, this is a weird amp. Alright, so that's your B plus there, coming to this red wire here, that's going to your center tap. You've got your first dropper there, which is 270 ohm. And then you've got local filtering there. It taps off there to here, and that is the screen node. No, there's another resistor in series with the screen, so you've got the screen node here, fed by this 470 ohmer, which comes from this node here, which is also fed off to go to this lug of the, just blurry there, this lug of the master volume. So the master volume is tapping off essentially a node after the screen node. So why is it supplying the voltage via the master volume? What? No, that's supplying. Okay, so the phase inverter node, is going to the counterclockwise lugs, which is linked up, and then the wipers are going to, both wipers are going to the grid's pre-coupling cap, and then the clockwise lugs, orange and black, are going to the actual plates of the PI. Wow. I mean, it's working. It's actually working okay. But yeah, that's weird. This is why I use animals on. I think that was a typo. Ship them back and say they were broken because they shipped delicate electronics in a plastic bag instead of a box. Yeah. It's gone full Scooby-Doo mode. We're looking for clues. Yeah. Minus the drugs. Anyone heard of Franklin Fab amp out of Canada? I have a 15 watt channel switching amp of his. It sounds amazing, but inside is a rat's nest. No, I haven't. So I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to trace it out. I'm going to stick those valves back up the arse of whatever fuckwit sent them to me. Because when you buy 10 grand of valves a year and you return $100 worth of valves a year, you'd have to be pretty stupid to piss that person off, yeah? But a lot of these companies, they are happy to piss people off even though they return less than 1% of the products. So, yeah. Can I make that PI have some odd behaviours? Yeah, no, it is associated with garnet. Dunno, bro. Those can go back up their arse. I'll put them aside. get into the orange AD30. The AD30 is probably pretty boring. I dare say it's just a shorted output valve. What's the trim pot do? That's the adjustable bias supply, because it is fixed bias. I saw the 270 ohm there before and thought that was, just at a glance, thought it was cathode bias, but it's not. It's fixed biased. Alright, get rid of that cab. The cab's really nice, even though it is mouldy. That's not the cabinet maker's fault. Yeah, I saw another channel of who shall not be named, and any half decent tech that was watching could tell that he blew up a set of very expensive valves, and then he rang up and bullied the company into giving him a free set even though it was his fault. That's a dog act, a total dog act. This is not. That's getting some used and half destroyed valves, not even in their paper wrapper, straight from the shop. So I'm happy to return them, but if it was my fault I'd cop it, because hell, I do a lot of dumb shit and I'm very honest about it when I do. Helps me sleep at night. So just have a look at the box. It's birch ply. It's nice. I think it's birch ply. Might just be pine ply actually, but it's reasonably well built. And it's an interesting way of doing the Tolex. They're seamless here, then they've got the fender style overlap down the bottom where it draws less attention. You only see those two little ridges there, so whoever covers these, I like their work. It's well done, and there's no evidence of it starting to shift away or anything at all. There's their little logos. It does make sense to have a trophy maker do your logos for them, because you can just move from one guy to the next. Not the most high class finish, but hey, it does the job, and these things aren't expensive either, so they're accessible amps, but that PI is weird. I've got to trace this thing out and see what the deal is with that. I could probably ring the bloke. He might be open to having a quick chat, but I generally don't like bothering people. I know what it's like, so I'll leave people alone and figure it out myself, spend the time. A few people messaging me or emailing me regarding content in my videos and wanting further detail or clarification. I'm usually pretty happy to do that, but at the moment, time is very tight, so some of those will be going unanswered. I can't help it. Unless you're a source of income, I can't really dedicate a good half hour to figuring out what you're trying to say and then coming up with some kind of path forward, because I've got to pay rent, mate. Times were a lot simpler when I was just in the garage jerking around. Alright, so we've got an orange, except for Lyle, because this is probably like brown to him because he's colourblind, so he's got to go off the logo. And yes, it is orange. Yes, the Hammond thing is something that's readily available. Do you want the number? Warning, dangerous voltage inside, especially on the master volume. So this is a Hammond 1550J, so a 1550J. That's the box. Nice size. You said it was a good size. Everyone is so greedy now, and service and quality are evidently not important business considerations. Yeah. I had a 6v6 go bad this week in a 3-month-old Rev D20. It hasn't been buffering for the past 4 or 5 minutes. By the way, I Swear it seems like in Lyle's last stream he was reading out the comments, answering questions that I didn't see on my end. Yeah, I heard something about that. Someone else said comments were disappearing. I think what happens, so when you do a video and you do it, well, when you do a live stream, sorry, and the video cuts out, when it says stream is offline in the bottom corner, later on when you exit that video and YouTube processes it and creates a video that you can watch back, it cuts out those sections of video. And I think any chat that took place in those times is also cut out. So I think the comments disappearing in that stream was due to the buffering and, well, you know, the stream going offline and the comments being cut out for that section. Brad, have you ever worked on an Egnator Tweaker 88 head? No, I've worked on the Tweaker combo. I think I had a Tweaker 40, whatever the lower power one is. And it was okay. You know, they're jamming a lot of features in those things, but essentially the biggest issue with it was the valves were just shot and it was biased too hot. But besides that, it sounded really good. Is that shielding paint on the box? No, that is just black paint because the box has a lid, so it's an enclosed chassis. That would make an interesting live show. Which, who, when, what? Good, and make sure you have chat set up so all mash. Yeah, sorry, I keep meaning to tell people that at the start. Set it to live chat, not top chat. So there's an arrow up the top. Oh, I'm in the live streaming software. There's a option above the chat window to change it from top chat to live chat. If you hit live chat, you'll get every single chat. That seems to be more applicable to streams that have like thousands of people watching, so just the crap gets filtered out. Jim Cox, not how to do that on this damn phone. Yeah, the phone app, I'm not sure, it depends on which version you got, I think. Thanks for the great content, have a great day. Thanks, Eric. See you later, mate. I guess you're going. What? Warning, all techs are gatekeepers. Bullshit, we just value our time. Yeah, it's like if you don't make someone a cup of tea for them, you're a gatekeeper. I cop that quite a bit. I left a lot of the Facebook forums because as soon as you give someone a few pointers, then they start emailing you and don't leave you alone until the problem's sorted. And if you don't respond, they like start abusing you. I don't know what planet they think that would work in, but anyway. Yeah, same exact logo combination from the Samsung Droid device, but really, who designs these universal symbols anyway? Seldom obvious at a glance when they're trying to indicate. Yeah, app designers, bro. Curious to see the inside of this amp. Really wanted one of these probably 20 years ago. I did a video on one of these a while back, Dustin, probably like 2-3 years ago now, just after I opened the shop. It's an interesting amp. It's basically two independent amps with a shared output stage, right up to two different phase inverters even. The gatekeeper bullshit is just whiny, lazy people's way of trying to shame people into doing work for them. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Wes. That is totally it. Trying to shame people into giving them free shit. They're no better than a panhandler or a scam pickpocket on the street. Same principle. So I think the feet on this one are the chassis screws from memory, because they're big chunky M5 or M6. Social Blade says I'm making $6 a month on YouTube. Social Blade, am I on there? That's pretty accurate. It probably is about $6 a month. Once you take the tax and the Google share and all of that. I feel flattered that I've actually got a listing. I'm unshameable. Yeah, I got that vibe about you, Lyle. That's admirable. I like that. I still suffer from quite a bit of imposter syndrome and second guessing every thought that I have. I'm not a very confident person myself. I may seem it, but I'm not. I second guess every thought that I have. And it makes functioning in today's world pretty difficult. There we go. GZ34 for JJZL84s. Some very pretty transformers and a very pretty chassis. But we're hitting 8:24 AM, so should we go and get coffee? What do you reckon, champions? Let's have a vote. Start a poll. Should I get coffee with you, champions, before 9 AM? Should I eat today? Yeah. We'll have to switch over to the phone, but that's alright. I have that in spades, but it comes from me, not from others. Yeah, true. It's not too early for a burrito. It is, because they're closed. They open at 11. Oh no, they don't. They have breakfast burritos there now, I think. I saw somewhere. Java. I've had a lot of it already today, yeah. This makes the world go around, Wes. I have an Excel spreadsheet I open up to watch Sonic audio live streams and take notes. Wow. Jesus, that's a good idea, Jim. I think Lyle would be very proud of you for that. Brad, you need to learn to whistle Angelina instead of fold backwards. Polarity so it cancels itself. I gotta stop whistling that, eh? Couldn't. I just can't get it out of my head. Oh, I just corrupted my chat window. Whoops. Alright, 82% says yes, get coffee. And poll. Yeah, coffee shops in Paris didn't open until 9. Lazy bastards. Alright, I'm gonna close this. Just hopefully I can restart it on my phone and we can get some 5G goodness. If it crashes, just look back at the channel and I'll post another link to the new thingy. So hopefully this works. Give us 1 second. All right, we live? I think we're live. Here we go, legends. I think that worked, didn't it? All right, that's pretty cool. Switch devices. Just get rid of my the wireless choo-choo there. And let's go for a cuppa. Hey, it's pretty sunny outside. It's warm today. Gonna get my sunnies. And I'll give you the walking first person view. No one wants to stare at my face. Oh no, where are my sunnies? Here they are. Alright, everything one-handed. Where's the chat window? Chat. There we go. Oh, that's way back.
Here we go. Looks and sounds better than my regular setup. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, Lyle. Fucking winter storm taking off here, yeah? Shit. I better get me keys, eh? I better put them probably still in the door. And Tadario should be top shelf. Alright. Got me keys. Stereo. Yeah, it is stereo, isn't it? Unlock. Well, someone commented the other day that they were amazed that I had a shop. Now I look like a $6 YouTuber. Alright, we'll swap camera. There we go. Alright. Alright, probably dropped there because I was disconnecting from the office Wi-Fi. Actually, you know what I got? Nah, bugger it. I'll do that later. I got a stabilizer for the camera. We're on 5G now. Russell Street lunch shop, where all your diabetes dreams can come true. Everyone looking at me weird because I'm live streaming. So all our payphones are free now. Do we want to ring someone? Free national calls. Australia is why. That's our payphones. At some point they changed them to be all free. That's our fuel price today. Fucking blatant rip-off. Let's take a shortcut. 7-Eleven. Looks the same here as in the States, with the KFC attached. Nah, this is as good as the stabilization's getting at the moment, Lyle. Yeah, if I was a bit more careful it'd be stable. That's pretty good there. A lot of traffic. It's coming up to school time. $200 a litre, yeah, almost. We're about to start the we're about to start the pre-Easter gouging. We're interested to see what it gets up to. We're at $2.50 a litre the other day. We'll probably go beyond that. I wonder if we're going to hit the $3 a litre mark. Wouldn't be fucking surprised. Just makes a bloke want to ride a push bike and never go anywhere. AD30 equals horse? What? Or is that a donkey? I can't see on the screen. Should we go vertical like a true pleb? No, it's gone blank. Doesn't like being vertical. Goat. Oh. Alright. Sorry, I'm just trying not to look like a weirdo streaming, but I guess that's already... That horse has sailed. Peep later. How's the quality though, champions? What is it, 720? Let's see if I can change that. Streaming setting, video setting, output resolution, 1080p. Yeah, it's not liking the 4K at the moment. I did that the other day, but that was on the weekend. How's that? Does it go 1080 now? Is there an option? Still 720. Yeah, maybe you can't change the settings while you're live. 720's alright. You're probably watching on a phone anyway, aren't you? The other day I did 4K, full 4K, 60 frames a second, and it looked fantastic. But that was on a weekend when no one was using the network because it's an industrial area. Yeah, where's in your 5K? Well, you haven't gone 8K yet. Yeah, well, that stream the other day, Wes, that was only on my 4G phone, the one that shit the bed. So this is a Samsung S23 now. Top of the line, mate. They were trying to sell me the Ultra, but it was huge and stupid, so I didn't go for it. So we're on 6 megabits per second at the moment. Need a coffee to walk to get a coffee. Yeah, pretty much. Everything's big. Oh no, the coffee shop's shut. Is it? No. People that they've got coffee. It just looks closed. It's really dark. It's a Cocoa. Extra shot and 1 sugar, please. Yeah.
Is that all?
That's it, thanks.
$6.
She was asleep next to me because she,
Yep,
wasn't
Brad.
well.
Brad, thank you.
She was very clingy. I woke up to her choking on my board. Oh, she didn't even realise. There you are.
Thank you.
And then she got it. I'm like, okay.
It's Easter time.
I made it just outside of my home. Or made it just inside the cabin back home in a big hall. Then all 4 of us. Do you not remember this one though, right? Please, you got. Do you know how many times we had to ring reception and say, I'm so sorry, we can't get some sheets, orders.
Look at the production line.
First thing she got rid of that because every time I
Someone do? No, no worries. Easter eggs. Life's tough, legends. The floor is the ceiling. Who's in the studio audience? What?
Hey, get the coffee before the Easter hat parade. I have to go to the Easter hat parade.
I should have given them a fake name. Apparently that's a thing. Everyone gives their coffee person a fake name and makes a different one up every day as a joke. Damn, I need to shave.
Here's your tie-dyed shirt. Sophie, here's your rainbow tulle skirt.
Let's try a high frame rate
Cozy's for
I've gone back to 4G. Oh.
tomorrow. No one's here. Yeah,
I saw them last night.
I'm going to be one of those parents. I'm going to buy stuff and I'm going to pay you a lunch. I'll never do my dad. One sugar. Does my dad look like your dad? It does. You can mistake it for each other.
What is the go with Lyle? No one knows how to spell Lyle.
That's got my hand today. It's got a little bit. It's alright. Be happy.
Mick Jagger.
But yeah, he was the Fonz back in the day. Like Dad reckons we come
Well, they got coffee machines.
Everybody's sick. We went to pick.
everything's coming from Alexander the Great.
Wow.
Should I love you some leaders? Right?
Yep.
I'll see you guys.
Have a great day. Have a good Easter, alright?
Is that one, was it?
That is yours.
Yep. No worries, thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
I didn't do you guys like these.
Oh, just that one, was it? It says my fucking name on it, doesn't it? Dickhead. Put the sunnies on. Gotta be a cool kid. Nice, Yamaha. Just perving on some bikes. Nothing to worry about. Alright, chat. Marlboro Squirrel. My name is Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos. You always get a funny look because you're white. They got my name right. Starbucks never get names right. I think that's a running joke by the Starbucks employees. I think they have to find whatever fun they can have in a day while they're worked off their feet, and that's how they do it. Yeah, pretty busy today. Ooh, project manager wanted. I almost became a PM of a joinery company. Almost. Should I apply? What do I know about fencing? Is that like with the real thin swords? With a little ball on the end? I could do that. I could manage fencing. On guard! It's very manicured little hedge there with some plastic under it. Uh-oh. Bus depot. Drivers wanted. Man, there's jobs everywhere here. Should I become a bus driver? I don't think I smell bad enough. Oh, there you go. If anyone wants a bus driver job, call that number. What's that? Oh, Yamaha. Never drink Starbucks. Always make my own Starbucks. Always make my own Starbucks as swirl. Yeah. The only reason I'm getting coffee today is because I ran out of milk and I left for work at 5:30 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about work, thinking about how many phone calls I'm going to get today asking if their jobs are ready, and that makes me not sleep. I figure I may as well get up, start working on them, so I can at least tell them what is wrong with them, even if I don't have time to fix them or need parts still. Yeah, project manager is for code for Fall Guy. Yeah, well, that's what I figured out, and that's why I didn't become one. That's why I ended up starting the shop. You want a husky? It's alright, eh? Yeah, it was going to be for an architectural joinery company, turnover multiple million a year. I thought, I don't want that kind of responsibility. 60 employees. Honestly, I'd rather make about $2,000 a week fixing shitbox amps. Plus, you know how I speak about things. Not very diplomatic, so I'll probably have the job for 6 months before everyone sort of figured out a way to get rid of me, because I wouldn't cop being a fall guy. It's really hard to get good espresso. Yeah, I found that. Paris coffee was shit. One place had good enough, none of course. The one place I found that was good was a place in Munich called Man vs Machine. It's about 4 kilometers from whatever the main. In what position do you find yourself needing to leave your undies at a servo? I think they shit their pants. Yeah, Man vs Machine in Munich was great. And that's where I sort of discovered Wilco. I'd known about Wilco for years, but they had Sky Blue Sky, their whole album playing in sequence. Shut up, truck, fuckhead. And yeah, I listened to the whole album, Sky Blue Sky, from start to finish. I couldn't leave the coffee shop until that album was finished. It had me by the balls. And oh, there's restocking KFC, that's nice. So then I made sure as soon as I got home I got the album, and the actual album, not the download. Bought the CD, and then I did what I do, and I love an album. I put it in the car and didn't take it out for 6 months until I knew that album back to front. Used to do that as a teenager. Now I'm trying to do it every now and then. Shut up, Coca-Cola. This probably does look a lot like the States. Industrial areas. It's like that Paul Kelly song. Every fucking city looks the same. Yeah, definitely a shit in the drawers situation. Yeah, it's one of the apprentices, probably. My company made sales people project managers. Now they are managers. No overtime. Oh, I could do with no overtime. It's Ben's shop, framer. Went over and spray painted some stuff for him the other day. Had a beer. And there's me shop. Still closed. Lazy bastard. Still got 15 minutes till open. There's the aircon guys. And here we are. Oh, dropped the guitar kick. They just fall out of your paws these days. It's getting warm today. Leave her open. OBS. Alright, are we back?
Alright, we're back. Sorry, I had to get some confirmation there because it's still not showing on the control room that we're reconnected. I'll just turn you down when I put the mic back on. Alright, we've got coffee, we've got an amplifier, and we've got a fault. What more could we want out of life in general? That worked really well. Maybe upgrading hardware does have a point. If you remember the last stream, I tried to do that and it was a shit show. I am going to turn the air conditioner on because it's really humid in here. Just since walking up the road. All right. So, big ass screwdriver. Set to 230 volts, that's good. Blowing HT fuses, so that's not good. Check that fuse, as the usual. Mains fuse looks okay. Mains fuse tests okay. Go with a mat amp instead. One of them just came up for sale there. Bren? Yeah, I remembered. Is that going to fall down when I undo that? Probably. I'll hang them back over. My mother just called, sent us some documents. She needed to update, she printed them out, made handwritten corrections, scanned them, and then sent them to me to retype. Oh, you love it, Lyle. Alex! Alex! How you going, mate? It's good, Lyle. Make yourself useful. So expensive though. I'm good with my 75. Yeah, there was one just came up for sale here for around the around the $2,500 mark, and I thought that's actually not bad. If it's the real deal, I think there's some fakes out there. People just getting one of these and repainting the front chassis and shit. I don't know if you guys encountered that over there. I'll just get rid of this cab. And there's our handy dandy little unit. I like the way they do these with the handle and that. You can grab them, you can sit them upside down, they don't hurt anything, you don't have to take the valves out, you don't have to get blocks. Fantastic little amps. Alright, any evidence of shit stains? Not immediately. Docs. Chat. Alright, got my chat window back. The only fake oranges I've seen are the modern official ones, yeah. With the matte amps, I mean, they'll get an orange and turn into a matte amp. Which isn't maybe not the worst thing, but I've found oranges to be pretty good so far, but I haven't had the latest ones. Hey, you know what? Let's have some weird Singaporean snacks. I've got to open the shop. Bear with me. Lights on. on. Background. Got the bemoaning the cooling weather, and now it's warm again. I'll just fire office. Time for a snack with my coffee. So Michelle just before the other week, she had a conference over there, so she was making the theme to suit the local area. Oh, did my audio cut out then? Fucking electro voice only got a range of 10 meters. What a piece of shit. Should have got a Shure. Should have got an Audio Technica. Maybe I'll get an Audio Technica. So, got a chocolatey wafery thing. Wafer, Dengan, Cream Cocklat. What's that like? I already know what it's like. I've eaten heaps of them. It's like a really light wafer. Covered in kind of shitty chocolate. But it goes right with the coffee. I've got these things. Banana layer cake. They come in strawberry as well. This Apollo seems to be a recurring theme. Apollo chocolate wafer cream. That's like a little sandwiched wafer thing. Chocolate in the middle. And there's 3 of them. They're not bad. What else we got? Oh, I've had some of these. They're coffee cream. They say cream and everything, but that's like a coffee toffee. And it's kind of salty. It's almost like salted caramel with a coffee flavour. It's not bad. Sometimes when I'm at work and I don't have time to eat anything, I'll just have a snack and a glass of water and I don't feel hungry anymore. Mini Mentos, the fresh maker. You're slicing then macerating strawberries for tonight. What are you making with strawberries, Lyle? Lollipop, chuppa chup. That's boring. But it's got weird Asian writing on it, which makes it less boring. I should get Google Translate onto the case. Oh, it's on my old phone. Damn, I've got to reinstall it. Yeah. It's all the random weird snacks. So, back to amplifiers. Once I finish this Apollo thing. Alright, so let's check from the B+. to ground. See if we've got a short. There's the transformer. That's the plate connections. TX10 white TP0 is the center tap. So that's our B+. 66 ohms on one side. 666. It's amazing how often that number comes up. 666. So to ground. We've got a negative resistance, which usually means a residual voltage minus 2 volts. At 0.2, sorry. It's actually got a negative voltage residual on the B+. Test the Union Jack. What's the Union Jack? That? Yes, it is a Union Jack. It doesn't require testing. So we haven't got a short to ground. That's probably happening when the valve warms up. So what I'll do is I'll ramp it up with the Variac. We will be a Variac boy on this one. That's the heater fuses. Ooh, hang on. That's the heater fuse. What's that fuse? That's the HT fuse. That's another HT fuse. Oh, that's the that's a 5 volt heater fuse. Then you got a heater fuse for the rest of the valves. It's got a rectifier. I'll just test the screen droppers, screen grid resistors. Sorry, 217. Can't get to that one, but I'll have a common connection to the one I can reach. 218, 218, 217, cathode resistor, both sitting around 150 ohms. So I reckon we've probably got a shorted valve on this one. I can't see anything. It's better. Sign of the yeast, mark of the yeast. It'll have to be 6.66% alcohol. What are they? T2? Sorry, T500A 2AG. Got to order more valves, more fuses. Running low. So, both of the fuses are missing. I don't know if they were both blown. Someone's taken them out and left it at that. Might have swapped them over and then blown the good one as well. You don't know. Gonna eat my last wafer of cream and get my variac. Got a little short IEC lead. Just to try and declutter the desk as much as we can. See if I can show you legends the current drawer this time, eh? This is my little meter. I got this one because it's got a long extension on the display, but then I never use it, so let's use it. It's magnetic. I think I just stuck a magnet to it. So now you can watch in real time the current draw, the power draw in watts from the wall. I'll have a sip of coffee. Alrighty then, let's plug in a speaker. Ohm. It's got little cork washers on there. It's pretty cool. I just realised I didn't follow my own advice. I've got it still set to top chat, so yeah, anyone coming in, just change the chat to live chat, not top chat, or you'll miss half the comments. Lord knows we don't want to miss comments, do we? That's my job. Right, let's monitor the current on the primaries as well, so we can have a hint as to which side at least the failed valve is on, assuming that's what's wrong. Oh man, this spade connector is ridiculous. Jesus. I have to weld it on. Just can't undo them. We can't access the plate. It's ridiculous. Got to take the fuses off on the rear jack to access the plate. Ah, that's stupid. Let's just solder a little bit of bus wire to it. Make a little hook. I'll just make a little hook like that, little P. And I'll just shove that down in the pin socket, in the valve socket pin for the plates. And the next tech will thank us as well. I don't like mixing leaded and lead free solder, so I'll just go leaded on these pins. Grab our little peas. Beelzebub. Beelzebub. It's a good one. You guys are onto something there. Having a look at the news this morning, I noticed a couple of like reasonably prominent breweries have just gone down. I don't know if they're all owned by the same company or something. Maybe that's what's happened, but you probably are a bit flooded with microbrews, to be honest. There seems to be one opening every week. Oh, I've got some nice little probe points now. For the plate, I'll just go onto the spade because we can access that. For the center tap, sorry. Yes, it does, Brendan. That could have been it too. They could have flicked it over, but you'd expect the mains transformer to go then. The mains fuse, sorry, not the HT fuse. But yes, that's another avenue to investigate. If maybe they flicked that and didn't realise or didn't want to tell me, because that happens quite a bit. Customers will do something accidentally and then they won't be honest about it later, and it just makes the... I don't care, it just makes the troubleshooting more time consuming and expensive. If they were just honest, we would have been able to eliminate things without so much fancy footwork. My old Sovtech Big 50 had that switch, yeah. A lot of amps do, especially international. A lot of your amps built for the States, especially if they're built in the States, won't have that. It'll just be single primary winding. But then a lot of international amp companies and European amp companies, they know they're shipping to the whole world, so they'll have that as default, or at least like jumpers on the main board that can be reconfigured. And then just one model of transformer. That's one less BOM item that you've got to deal with. Okay. Just check we've got connection there. The other meter will jump a bit when you switch this one. 66.3, 6666. You can't see. There we go. We've got the light at just the wrong position. There you go. You can see the watt meter. What meter? Watt meter. That meter. Geez, I do a lot for you guys, eh? You read that? No. Oh my god. That's this one. So that can piss off. It wants to be in a spot where it reflects. Okay, you can read everything. Happy days. Now, flames and smoke and chaos and drama. Set everything in the midway in the off chance that it doesn't blow up, and we can have a listen. Play and on. We use the Variac switch as the main power switch, so I'll sit on that. Won't sit on it. I'll have my hand on it, so if it does run away I can just flick it off. Switch them back to voltage. Power on. That went through a bit of a peak there. You can see as the transformer energizes on this meter, its update, its refresh rate's only about a second. Slowly bringing it up. We're already at 10 watts, I'm only about 40 volts. Watts. That's just in rush to the caps. So now we're sitting at 120 volts We've got 25 watts. The front panel lamp is starting to glow. You're in a relay click. That's another relay click. They're just energizing. 30 watts. We're at 140 volts. $160 volts. As it warms up, we're starting to get conduction. That's a so we're measuring the drop across the primary, the output transformer. Whoop, and I just heard a buzz, and the current went through the roof. Let's try that again with no valves. See if I can unplug them from the top without having to flip it over with everything attached. So I heard a buzz through the speaker then, and the current jumped. That's one way to test stuff without being destructive. Save destruction for the weekend. That's my motto. It's just good to see JJs that still have vacuum though. Even if they are shorted internally. Alright, now all the valves are out. I just lost the cable then, so we'll reconnect that. Yep, doesn't want to stay. Try again. We won't have any conduction this time because we're not connected to because we don't have any valves, but we'll see if that current jump happens even without the valves in it. It was only starting to happen as they started to conduct, so I dare say we've got a shorter valve as I suspected. Yeah. You're up to 32 watts. 35 watts at 240, no short. So, let's try a new, it looked like, I'm going to have to watch the replay now. It looked like it was on the left that it ran away. I'm just going to rewind my own video here. Alright, so I'm watching my own video about 3 minutes ago. That's when they were starting to conduct. The left side was going quicker. 100 millivolts, 200 millivolts, 300 millivolts, 400 millivolts, 500, 6, up to 1 volt. So the ones on the left, suspect, one of them, one of those two. Let's do something crazy. Let's put 2 out of 4 in. This is going to be tricky. Nah. Can't do the double Dutch rudder reach around. Peaceful Warrior 1959, 50 bucks. Come on, man, that's too much. 50 bucks. I can buy a case of beer with that, man. That is hectic. Thank you very much. Email me later, I'll give you my OnlyFans. Legend, thanks mate. Peaceful Warrior. It's the best kind of warrior. 1959, is that your year or is that your favourite amp? Plexi. Feet pics. You're a sick man, Travis. let's put these two in. We'll see which one's the culprit. Alright, so now we've got 2 out of 4 valves installed. We'll see which side runs away. We'll pass on the OnlyFans. Hey, you can keep that shit private, man. It's special, it's for you and me. I wanted to start an OnlyFans and only film fans. Like get computer fans and get them all running on a bench and just live stream that. That would be stupid but funny. It's my MO. Stupid but funny. Alrighty then, let's see which one is playing up. The other ones are probably perfectly fine. Let's just give it 260 volts. You are the weakest link. Did I change my sign? Yeah, I did. Oh, I kind of missed the COVID days when no one came around. It's just me and you legends. Alright, zoom out a touch. No, we've got everything in. That's good. Watts, 14 watts. I have a bit less current this time because there's only 2 valves, so less heater current. Watch the top meters for me. See if you can spot the one. Click, click. Relays. Yeah, ceiling fans for premium viewers. 24/7. Alright, we're starting to conduct. Pay attention, champions. Which one hits the roof? Very balanced. Alright, keep going a little bit. The left one, no. The race is on. Which one? Which one's gonna go? Give you the speaker. Neither is gonna go. Oh, one dropped. Go down to nothing. Did I just blow a fuse? Don't tell me I blew a fuse. I've only got 2 left. We weren't even at full voltage. We're nowhere near it. You arsehole. Blew a fuse. Well, which fuse was it? That'll tell us. No, that won't tell us either because both blew. Okay, so why did both fuses blow? That's a worry. Both fuses blew. I hope it's not the transformer. Can't be the transformer. Both tubes are bad. Oh. Ah. Alright, let's test the other 2. I'm a dog with a bone now. I didn't think that fuse would blow at that voltage. But, you know, hard short, I guess. Can be the transformer. The valve's more likely, yeah. Well, with no valves in, it was taking full voltage without. It was taking full voltage like a champ. All right, let's donate my last 2 fuses. So look at that, Dad. If you're still watching, you can use a Variac and blow up fuses. You can have the best of both worlds. We can all get along, you know. Looked like they were almost happy there for a sec, and then they died. Hang on. Okay, so wait a minute. Is there?
2 valves in 2 pairs as a logical way of thinking that you've got 2 on each side.
Let's just check the resistance between those plates. Sometimes they lay stuff out weird.
You'll have 2 pairs, but not necessarily inner and outer.
Yes, this is in inner and outer. Sorry, left and right. Sometimes they're inner and outers. That caught me on the using Kettner or Randall or something. EVH says Variacs are cool. EVH doesn't say much at all anymore, unfortunately. Although a lot of the things he did say should probably be taken with a bit of a grain of salt, because he was a professional piss taker as well. Good on him. Guess you're going to use Variac on the fans then. Yeah. Hello all. Hello GWGJDOXO. There you go, champ. I'm going to start an OnlyFans, and it's going to be OnlyFans. I like that. It might be like Hypnotic, one of those channels that people watch to unwind at the end of the day in their stressful job, just watching fans rotate. It could be my OnlyFans. I was going to do another stream the other day because Dad brought 2 radios back with him that he's restored. I was going to do another ABC. Yeah, you do prefer hoof repair. I remember hearing about that. It's each to their own, eh? I prefer Japan walks. But anyway. Japan walks or Aphex Twin ambient, or Brian Eno. What was it? Thursday Morning, that song, that ambience track, or Music for Airports by Brian Eno. While I'm thinking or doing paperwork and have to focus. Had enough hoof repair. Enough airports. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, the hoof repair grossed me out a bit. I tried watching one and I'm like, ugh. Yeah, it's not my thing. Japanese walks around Tokyo. Love it. Anyway, that's what sort of got me addicted to video cameras, because the guy that does it is a camera nerd. Let's blow up another 2 fuses, eh? Let's go gung-ho now that we've come to terms with our position in the world. Oh, it helps if you put the bloody valves in, doesn't it? What did I do just then? I disconnected everything, got talking, reconnected it all. Oh God. Alright. This is why I shouldn't live stream, like, at all. Because I'm an idiot. Good farriers are artists. I just made some toolboxes for farriers. Some flat packed ones. This ex-employee of mine, he knows I do drafting and I got the software and that, so he sent us some sketches of a farrier's toolbox. He wants to make them flat packed, and you can buy the flat pack and build them yourself. It's another one of his get rich slow schemes. Yeah, we went through about 10, 15 iterations of this design. Farrier's toolbox before he landed on one that he was happy with. I did not expect that job to take that long. But all the jobs that you don't expect to take long are the ones that kill you. I don't know if you just remember a few streams ago, I had a Fender Super Reverb here that was absolutely destroyed. I quoted over $3,000 to restore that thing. That would have been a fantastic amp, and it would have been a world-class example of a super reverb. Cabinet repair, baffle, new speakers, you name it. But we cut it right down, so his budget was very limited, so now it's like make noise again. It kind of sucks, but I'm going to do a video on that anyway. And show the different tiers of repair between purely functional, cosmetic, nice to haves, voicing, fine tuning, that kind of thing, or just making it make noise again. Because at the end of the day, that's the tier that he went for. It's still over $1,000 because there's so much destruction in it. Alright, valves in, 25 watts, relays click, wait for it to heat up, and I'll blow more fuses. Conductivity. Car champs, gonna warm up or what? Put the new fuses in, yeah, there we go. Starting to move. Oh, what? What happened then? Something funny going on, eh? I think we might have a transformer problem here, Lyle. Shit. Can't tell me all four are gone. 27 watts. Helps if you plug the speaker in. Alright, really on track today, aren't we? Good thing there's nothing going into it. Yeah, full Nelsons. Thanks for that. My God, man. Oh, well, if I damaged it, I'll fix it. 150, 70, 80, 100. We're sitting at about 120 volt out of 240. Okay, now just blow more fuses. So I think, yeah, I think we've got a problem with the output transformer, man. Yep, they're blown again. All four valves aren't short. Can't tell me that. Sorry, dude, 6. What? Wife hobby is quantum mechanics. Bought her a toolbox for her birthday. Was it E? You'll get it, but I gotta run. Okay, sorry dude, 6. You'll get it, but I gotta run. Alright, see you, Lyle. Was it Itty Bitty John? What? Was a typo. Oh. Right. Thanks for clarifying. I never know with you, you're always a bit cryptic. Alright, so I'm just going to do another test with no valves in there. When meters wake up. It's only as they heat up. So it's a weird one. Oh, yep. So without the heaters, without the valves in there, something shorted as well. So that was a bit of a bum steer, that one, because before, when we took it up to 240 volts quite happily with no valves in it, it didn't hurt anything. But that was just a coincidence just then with no valves in. She's not blown at this time, but I pulled back just in time, so yeah, I think our transformer's at fault here. Oh no, that one went open hard. So that would be on the cathode connection. I'm gonna have to check the schematic one moment just so we're not flying blind here. But something is hard short there. And the heater fuses are still okay. The rectifier, I think, is pre those fuses, so let's just confirm that. It could be a short rectifier valve if one of those heaters, or if those heaters are before it, but I don't think they're on the plates of the heater. I think they're on the where are they? Violet. No, they might be, yeah. So I gave myself a bum steer by it behaving with no EL84s in. But then further testing has showed that that was just a coincidence. AD30, there we are. Oh, that's a lot of schematics. Alright, I'll download the whole folder. Transfer's complete. What? Where is it then? Nope. We have a service bulletin. That's never good. Main PCB ORA PC134. Is that the board? ORA, sorry. Let's see. Violet. Black and red, 5 volts AC. Right, so that's a heater fuse. Ah, okay, right, so yeah, the violet and the violet. So that might be the GZ34 shorted. Because the violets are coming from the fuse. Alright, well, let's throw another set of fuses at it, eh? Why not? Gonna have to charge $50 just for the fuses, because I'm an idiot. As if I'd charge them for fuses I'd blew up out of my own stupidity. Be a nice job if you could getting paid for stupidity, but... So, any visual evidence of short? No. So let's have a little faith in our EL84s again as we stumble around. might just be a shorter rectifier valve. I was under the impression from the location of those fuses, I didn't look closely enough at the wiring, that they were cathode fuses, because I've seen that in many other oranges. They often use the HT fuse on the cathodes. However, that is in amplifiers that have solid state rectifiers. This one's one of the few oranges that I've seen with a valve rectifier. So it's got a fuse on each of the plates of the rectifier valve, and they're the ones that are blowing, so that's upstream of the transformer. So let's put a new one in. It's the ASMR of me fishing around in a box full of valves. For stupidity work for the Jaycar guys, yeah. Yeah, worked for a while. They're not the most healthy blokes going around now though, are they? Old rectifier. Oh look, this one's in paper. It might be new. Nice. A bit rattly. How many amps we want? 5 amp fuse. Three amp. 8 amp. 150 milliamp. No. Tell you what, we'll go 0.4 amp. 400 milliamp. Test this new one. I've got to order more fuses. I've been trying to order fuses for the last couple of weeks and I keep forgetting. Is that glass cracked already? No. What are the voltages at test 5 and 6, test point 5 and 6? 0 volts, because it's not powered up. Test point 5 and 6, the first two HT nodes. Tell you that. I'll just have to rearrange my leads a bit. Where's the convenient grounding point. There.
Duh.
So yeah, I guess that's why we weren't seeing a massive runaway. Because normally you see a big spike in the transformer voltage drop when you have a shorted valve, like will go up multiple tens of volts before the fuse blows, whereas this was just pop because it wasn't even supplying the voltage to the valves for the fraction of a second that the short happened. So that makes sense. So I've got 400 milliamp fuses in there at the moment. Plug the speaker in this time, eh? When it comes up on 5 and 6, so that would be, what's the droppers, so they're there. Test point 5 is B+, and 6 is the phase inverter node. Test point 6 is probably near the phase inverter. Yes, well that's the screen node, sorry. So that's the screen supply. It's sitting at 89 volts before we've even powered it up. So yeah, that's why you be careful when you're working in one of these, because residual voltages, because we didn't conduct for very long. But while I'm adjusting probes and that, I'm not touching anything. So I'm literally touching the probe and that's it. So that's the way I always operate, and that's why I haven't had a shock for about 10 years. Alright, voltage DC on this one. Voltage DC on these two, that's the transformer primary drop. That's the probe that we've got here that we're going to test the test points with. That's the power meter as before. I haven't got a meter on the AC input, but we'll just go off the scale here. 25 watts, 28 watts, 29 watts, click, click, relay, relay. So on test point 6, we'll watch that come up as it's sitting at 89 residual, and as the rectifier warms up, it'll rise, and it's going now. No, it's dropping as it heats. It's probably heating the EL84s first, so they're trying to conduct before the rectifier valves had a chance to warm up. Now it's warming up, you can see the voltage climbing again. So it climbs, conducting on the output stage. Now we're hitting 1.3 volts. We're only at 160 on the screens. And we're at, get on there, 220 on the plates. We're sitting at 2.3 volts, so let's keep going. 3 volt drop, 260 volt. Now we're approaching 300 on the B plus at 3.5 volts. Pretty even on the two sides. 300 volts, 4 volts either side of the transformer. And we're sitting at 240. So it was a shorter rectifier valve. And my stupidity. Alright, so that's a pretty easy one, we can quote that. I might let that sit for a bit. We'll give it a sound test as well, make sure there's no weirdness. But I think we're sitting at 108 volts, which from memory is about right for this one. They are biased a little warm. But yeah, let's have a play. Have a listen. And master's down. I'll turn my Lavier down and turn up the speaker mic. So there you do. There you have it, champions. Just a bad rectifier valve on that one. A little bit boring for a problem. Made it funny with my antics, but that's about it. So we've got one more. Should we do one more or leave it at that? We've just got a little one, a little quick, I don't know, 20-minute one. A little low on the TP5, should be 345 to 365, TP6 330 to 350. And I'm still on the Variac, John, so the mains voltage is approximate. If I tuned it up to bang on 240 volts, we could take those voltages to heart a bit closer. But that's me still on the Variac. Just diagnosing, mate. So it was showing, from memory, the Variac's about 20 volts low. So I was sitting on 240, so it's probably on more like 220. You're good with a quickie. That's what she said. And we're free. Alright. Put them in a container. All the Brad-induced carnage. She wasn't asked, unfortunately. Yeah, that's awkward then. So I'll call that a service and a new rectifier valve. See, that's interesting there. Yeah, wow. I just noticed that then. Let's zoom in. So on one side of the valve, I didn't see it from the other side, but one side you can see the white specks on the inside of the glass there. If you're in high def, you should be able to pick that up. See the white specks? That's bits of cathode plating, because it's an indirectly heated cathode, this one. And that's bits of the cathode coating coming off. Oh, someone's trying to ring me. One moment, champions. Travis. Backup diodes, would they have helped? Yes. My OCD is triggering you. Why? Because I'm cleaning up. That was a prospective customer. Just went to one of my one of me mates, Mark at Megtronics, and you can't take the job at the moment. So I am taking the job because if we're too busy or something comes up or there's family issues or whatever, there's a network of techs across Sydney. We all are mates. We're not competition. We're all friends, and we share jobs with each other. Spread the love and whatnot. Because there's enough work to go around and we don't have to fight for it. Because there's always going to be broken stuff. Are you talking about my OCD with winding cables up, Jerry? Don't know what to tell you there, bro. Need a neat workshop. Yeah, teamwork it makes the dream work, mate. It's true. It's not just a saying. We help each other out with schematics and parts and advice. And have you ever seen this? And we're talking worldwide. Half of them you see on the stream here. Go check out their channels. You realise, oh shit, here's another tech. This is a text channel. This is not a clickbait political channel. This is a channel primarily, cockroach shit from the highlight. This is primarily a channel for other techs to watch for entertainment. That is my mission statement. You heard it here first. Where else would you hear it? Well, not officially, Travis. I think that's a bit frowned upon, but unofficially, fucking oath. So yeah, I wanted to do this channel mainly because I like watching other nerdy tech channels, and I like giving nerdy tech people somewhere to hang out. Because I don't know if you noticed, but I started doing more and more live streams. Started getting serious. I'm still not serious. Started getting more serious with YouTube at the start of the pandemic. It's about when I got my new camera and started doing lots of live streams. And that's when I started editing videos too. I don't know if you know, but everything prior to 2020 was just live because I was afraid of editing videos. Rightly so. Man, this thing's had a tough life. Wow. Okay, so we've got, get rid of that. It's got the serial number. I don't know if that means anything. It's got sticky gaff tape residue on it. Got some mods. Big ass green cap there. Bunch of series resistors. Oh, that's actually tapped. I don't know what's stock and what's not. This is interesting. This is like Electro-Harmonix had a pretty, like, I don't know how to say it, humble upbringings. But having said that, there's been a lot of stuff done to this. That's going to be an issue.
That's a Switchcraft. No, Switchcraft ripoff. But look at these pots. That one there is the original. It's got the long legs. The middle one is original with the long legs. You can see they're open back. And this one's been replaced. And that's a eyelet one. So they've cut the legs off the old one, fed it through the eyelets, and left the old legs in place. It was probably a field repair or something. Got a piss with the cock you got and whatnot. None of the pads look loose. Lots of residue and stuff. But this thing probably works if we tighten that jack, because that's your main ground for the input. That's the only connection to the it's the only connection to your voltage too. So I reckon that jack being loose and gross is our main issue. Give it a battery. Oh, they've put a jack on there just floating around. I might ask him if he wants an actual jack, because he's had just the grounded one. So I might put an isolated jack on there to use modern supplies. In the meantime, I'll just plug that in and we'll see if we've got signal through the thing, eh? Amplifier. Bonus. What's this say? What? Answering machine message. Bonus. Ring, ring, ring. Phone sticker. What? Okay. No idea what that's about. Anyway. Going for a handy dandy power supply up here. 9 volts. We have a broken wire. Positive on the tip. Oh, I think I wound this. I think I've wired this plug as boss style, so I might have to reverse. Yeah. Alright, now this is boss style, so positive externally. That was weird. Oh wow. Fading in and out. Seems to be gaining, doing things. Bit of Fu Manchu there. Well, there you go. So I think I might just give him a price to clean those pots up, clean the wiring up a little bit, and put a built-in jack, isolated to use Boss style power supply, and maybe some new input and output jacks, some switchcrafts on there, and make it a screw computer for the next however many years till the caps fail, one by one. So I don't think having a lead hanging out like that is real crash hot way of doing things. So anyway, that's the last one for today, legends. I'm going to do some actual work now, so I might catch us around. I think doing these diagnosis streams works alright. Just gives us a bit of focus without having to plan too much. We can just get stuck in and have a look at stuff and see how stupid I am in real life. It's pretty shocking. But anyway, thanks for joining us, legends, and thank you very much for the donations. I always pour that stuff back into doing videos, be it going out of my way to do more edited videos or upping the quality game with microphones and lenses and stuff like that, or just taking you on bloody day trips, mate. I want to start doing with the phone and the 5G and that's going to have good reception in the city, and any guitar shows or nerdy tech stuff. Like I want to go to Electronex, the next electronics show. This one's in Melbourne this year, which sucks. Last year was in Sydney, but we didn't go. I just want to give you maybe some road trip type material, and I think that'd be fun. So thank you very much for watching and the donations, and I'll continue to provide some more funny shit for you. So enjoy your week. I'm going to go down the coast on the weekend, so we might do a little video from Dad's workshop too. I think he's halfway through restoring some of those valve amps that the valve radios, sorry, that we showed I think last time. So hopefully he'll be in the mood for doing a video, and he can tell us about what he did to them, and we can look up some schematics and have a listen to them. He's made some transmitters because he's in a bit of a radio black hole. So he's made these little transmitters to be able to transmit whatever audio input and receive it on the radios, just to test that they're happy and good. And you can change the frequency internally with a trim pot, I believe. Or maybe that's a frequency, I don't know. But yeah, we'll get him run through these things as well, tell us how he built them and what they are. And that way we can start our little 50-metre range AM radio station. So take it easy, legends. Have a good one, have a good week, and enjoy Easter. I'll catch you around.